Hey, it's me, Me, the guys with the five eyes that you see. It has been a while since I've uploaded any videos, and it's also for good reason though, because I had to go through a lot of introspection and a lot of life lessons on myself. And as we know, pandemic was it was really nothing for me. I was going to work as usual during the pandemic, but the particular time of the crypto run up about after the pandemic was like what 2021 2022ish, the run up and down from Bitcoin going up to 70 or 69K and down. That's when I was really pretty active with YouTube and everything. And the first thing I would like to say is I'm sorry for people I may have misled, which I don't think was too many people because hardly anybody watched, but for anybody that could get influenced off of the things I was investing in. Again, I wasn't a financial advisor, but I was pretty confident in myself and what I was doing with crypto. But in the end, I've kind of gotten a bit tired of crypto for the most part.
I'm tired of this, man. I'm sick of worrying about whip cars. I'm sick of worrying about the government. I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke.
But I can explain it like this. I got my start in Bitcoin in around 2017, at the end of 2017 or 18, I forget, during the last crash before this crash. And I just started off with Ethereum, EOS, Tron, Bitcoin, and a few other things of the like. But for the most part, I was mostly into Ethereum, Cardano, and Bitcoin. And through this last run up, I have very sizable holdings of Bitcoin, Cardano, Ethereum, in and out. I was also getting more into the NFTs with VV and NBA Top Shot. There's this one thing on ADA. I forgot. It's not Crypto Kitties. It was Space Buds. Yeah, Space Buds. And Crypto Nitties. All kinds of stuff, right? Essentially, the crash exposed a lot. I will say the only thing is I still believe in Cardano, Ethereum, Bitcoin as tangible investments. Bitcoin still requires proof of work to even mine Bitcoin. So there is that aspect of work that needs to be done to obtain it, which gives it a lot of value in itself. And Ethereum, with its network being something that people can use and to also make other tangible products with it, along with Cardano as well. I feel like those lend to it being the effective investment vehicles. My mind on NFTs has changed a lot. I feel for NFTs, for simple collectibles, I feel for the most part those things should be cheap. I don't think most of them should be expensive. Like NBA Top Shot, for example, they just gained way too much money, as evidenced by their crash, which is basically harder than the most of the crypto space. I feel like that is just too new of a collectible investment to really gain so much value than like actual cards, where you can get actual autographs with like legitimate, like limited mints that you can also get by luck, that the common person can really truly get by luck. And there's also the things with Space Buds. Apparently what happened with that, the artwork was plagiarized, allegedly. That's from what I remembered. And fortunately, I was able to sell my Space Buds, one of my Space Buds, for a good amount. I always respect that fish. Fishy got that drip. So that situation happened, and VV actually, I think, has kept to its guns for the most part. I did have a Spider-Man collectible that I definitely should have sold, but I made, a basic 1K off of that. So, I still got money the way I needed, and it's probably cheaper now. I should go back on there and check it. But yes, I do feel like the crypto space as a whole became like a vortex of hype. People were being so greedy. I was being so greedy that I feel like we were not asking ourselves, we're quote unquote investing, but let's be real, most of us wanted to flip. And I hate that aspect of it because I'm not a flipper type of investor. I like to buy something and hold it. That's why I have a substantial holding of silver for myself. And also with my camera equipment, because I also consider my camera equipment investments. And every now and then I may get a clothing article that I can still sell online, whether it be some shoes that I don't wear too often, or like my Stone Island jacket. Like, I like to be able to use things and still be able to sell them, or have the choice of using them if I would like to sell them. But to me also, I feel like with crypto, I was getting a bit too caught up in the sin of greed. And from the sin of greed, things can develop like sloth and gluttony. It's very easy to basically commit all the other deadly sins once you have greed. Because in my image, in my head, I really just wanted crypto money so I can just take vacations and buy clothes, get a bunch of games, get a bunch of stuff. Nothing that's really worthwhile. And to be honest, it's also changed my idea of investing in general in like the stock market, for example, because I want to put all this money into something where other people work at it and I don't. I feel like I'm kind of cheating myself by not putting in the work myself to raise the value of what I have, or the value of any assets I have. You know, like with stocks, for example. I feel like that's a good reason why, in my, like a spiritual reason why the stock market is kind of faulty, because you have all these people putting in money into these companies, but they're not really putting money into the company. They're putting money into the stock, which the company will then sell and then do whatever they may do. They may make up a lie about something, or they may cause drama, cause the stock price to drop, and then they buy back their stock. You know, you're not actually, for example, a company like Apple, you're not putting in money to, let's say, fund a experimental Apple Watch eye plug. I don't know, something like that. Something crazy, something that hasn't been done before. You're not putting the actual money into the work, to the employees, to the research and development, to the parts fabrication. You're doing none of that. You're not really having no real skin in that game. You're just putting your money down and saying, okay, I want to have $100 here. When I come back, I want it to be 150. But what are you really doing? You know, so to me, I wanted to take the lazy, in my opinion, the easy route to riches, to acquiring capital without putting in any real work. And that's why I have been absent for the past year and some change, almost 2 years, who knows. Because during this time, me and my wife, at one point we were working our regular jobs, and then we started to really put our abilities being photographers and videographers together. And now we don't necessarily work full time, but we earn enough to sustain ourselves. And now we earn enough to sustain ourselves and a kid. So as the years went by, I've just been improving my skill set, and now I've actually gotten a collection of items where I can use them, but need be, in a situation calls for, I can sell them. But the most important thing to me is I've been able to increase my value by working, by solving things myself. And now I have also gotten to the point with my music where I have a couple instruments. I have more sample packs. I have some VST because I'm an Ableton user. I have one of the Akai, it's not MPC, or is it called MPC? I don't know. One of the Akai keyboards that also has like settings, and you can play it like, you know, freestyle it to yourself, has a speaker in it and everything. I have these things to now make my music, and my music is really improving, evolving. Now instead of rapping, I'm going to sing, and I'm going to have my wife do background vocals and everything. We'll be performing soon. And we're figuring out even more innovative ways to integrate our photography in different ways. We have a photo booth now. There's so many things that we've done based off our own will, and it feels, for one, much more rewarding to actually work and gain value from things we are doing, from what I'm doing. I'm putting my own skin in the game. And the second thing to me is I love being able to work and only worrying about whether it's the client, or if I'm working for a boss, my employer, or just working for myself. The one thing I did hate a lot about crypto and crypto trading is that you're essentially fighting against another person. And hear me out when I say it like this. For the most part, when you're trading against other people because you're not trying to lose money, right? You're trying to buy and either break even, or you're either trying to stay black or green. You're not trying to be red. But truth is, if you're going to play the game, you're going to need someone else to be red for you to be green. You're going to need to sell high and buy low. And you're going to need someone else to buy high and sell low. Because that's how it works. Let's see a stock, it goes from 95 to $100, and I make like a 5%, whatever percentage profit, right? I sell that stock at $100. I'm hoping that someone buys that stock at $100 and eventually sells it at 90, whatever goes wrong, and then I come in and get it at 90. And that's why people do a short. So, I might be like, hey, I'm gonna put my money down to bet that this stock is gonna go down. So I'm hoping that people end up buying that at 100, and when it starts going down, I want them to sell at 90. So basically, you want other people to lose money. It's a big game against each other. It's like a lot of things in government and in life that has been pitting people against each other in divisionary tactics, but that's a story for another day. But either way, I didn't like that because I was basically turning into the person selling low and buying high. Sometimes I got lucky, but like for Top Shot, for example, essentially you had to get up in there, buy everything early, and then sell before the market came in and crashed, because they had to do that, because in order for Top Shot to be viable, especially with the NBA behind it, they have to get as many people involved as possible. It cannot just be something, it can't be like CryptoPunks. You can't just limit the amount of people within that, because then the NBA is not going to make the kind of money they want long term. They're only going to make the money they have short term with a couple of rich people, but eventually that will dry up. They need to have a bunch of people on that platform. And I don't like that. I just don't like the aspect of having to be focused on selling and making sure I'm not getting got by other people selling and whatnot. It's very stressful. So at this point now, I'm definitely more conservative with my investment vehicles. So I invest in my business. I invest in silver. I would like to invest in gold, but gold is a bit expensive. But I will say, though, you can always buy pieces of gold. So I think eventually I'm going to buy pieces, maybe like 1/10 of an ounce, going up and going down or whatever. Definitely investing in my music. All this to say, I think at the end of the day, invest in yourself. The biggest investment you could ever have is yourself. If you're a person that is kind of struggling with stock investments, crypto investments, maybe you're trying to be a trader, maybe you would like to run a firm one day, don't pay that any mind. Think about the kind of things you like to do. What do you really want to do? And if you don't know what you want to do, what do you tolerate the most? What do you like to do? Invest your money into that. Invest your money into your interests. Invest your money into your body. Invest your money into your mind. Go find some books. Go experiment and try to make something and put money into making that. Nowadays I'm making Kumihimo bracelets and finding shells on a beach, putting them together, and that can make money, but I also just like to do it. And I feel like that's the only really easy way to make money, right? Is to do something you love to do, and then monetize that. Because if you already love to do it, then it's easy to work very hard at it and no one really has to push you. And thus, it's also easy to raise your skill level. And once your skill level increases, then your value increases and you can monetize what you do for even more trade and everything. But yeah, so don't take this crypto stuff too seriously. Don't get yourself lost in the investment world. I mean, all the markets are crashing in the first place. The economy is really shaky right now. I'm just glad I don't even have the kind of job where it could be put at risk. You know, there are a lot of Americans out there. Like, did you know the majority of the six-figure earners in this country are like living paycheck to paycheck, and the tech industry is just like, there's a big bubble with the tech industry, and now you got articles coming out of people with like $500,000 jobs worried that they're not gonna have their jobs. And with the pandemic, a lot of them bought houses in other states because they can keep working with their job and maintain their house there, but now they're possibly not going to have a job with. And sometimes, like in Florida, their home insurance rates are going up, and you know, with the interest rates going up as well, now all of a sudden the house is more expensive than what they think, and they're losing their job. It's a lot going on. You need to just make sure to save your money, and if you're going to spend it on necessities. If you're going to spend it on wants, make sure the wants you spend it on are things you like to do, and things that just help you create and help you become a better person. You know, even if it's not monetization. Still, when you're helping yourself, when you're keeping yourself active, when you're keeping yourself happy, that's an investment within yourself, because health is wealth. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm glad to be back, and I will see you in the next video.